Hello, everyone, and welcome to HCTV Sports. We've got some high school girls varsity basketball action tonight. The Hastings Raiders going on the road, coming into the game with a 4-3 record against the home team Henry Sibley Warriors at 3-4. For Metro East Conference play, I'm Reagan Hooverman. I'll be on play-by-play tonight. And I'll quickly introduce my broadcast partner, Owen Ely, before we get the National Anthem.
Absolutely. Let's get it started in here. We're about to go to the National Anthem. Reagan, I am so excited to be here. What a game we have ahead of us.
And we're courtside. We've got great seats, new microphones. This is fantastic. So I'm assuming well, maybe we will rock you a little bit here before we get to the National Anthem as we see some of the Metro East Conference standings. Hill Murray still rocking out at the top at 7-0, and you see Hastings there at 4-3. Henry Sibley slightly behind at 3-4, and then in the cellar is North St. Paul at 0-7. Now we have 20 seconds here until we'll get a buzzer and then likely the National Anthem if all goes according to plan.
Absolutely. Well, you never can count on things to go according to plan for high school sports, especially not in the COVID era. But
right.
I don't know. Reading everybody's body language here, I think we got 5 seconds to go. What's your hottest sports take you can fit in? 4 seconds.
The Packers will sign J.J. Watt.
Now that is truly reckless speculation right there.
Take a quick break here for the National Anthem. All right, so a beautiful rendition of the National Anthem right there, and have to assume we'll get into starting lineups here.
Absolutely. Well, as if there's anything else other than a beautiful rendition of the National Anthem.
That's right. We've heard some great ones over the years.
Yeah, you always prefer the ones that are live.
Right.
I forget which school does it. I know Grace Spiewak. It's embarrassing that I forget what school, but I know they have her do it live, and it was a Super Bowl-worthy performance.
Really?
It was very good. I was very impressed.
So we'll get the starting lineups here, as we'll see Shea Levos, number 2, number 3, Avery Daly, number 12, Lily Newton, number 14, Emma Baker, and number 20, Hannah Schultz. So that's the starting 5 for the Hastings Raiders, the visiting Raiders, and now we'll get the starting 5 for the hometown Warriors. Number 12, Natalie Parnell.
Very good soccer player as well.
Love to see it. Number 23, Caroline Anderson, both seniors. Now we'll get number 33, Aria Eichhoff, another senior. A lot of seniors in the starting lineup tonight on both sides. And we'll get Cece Bell, another senior.
Yeah, and this is interesting. I haven't seen too much of the Warriors this season, but I know that they were an interesting team last year. Sibley had a really, really dominant team that made it to the tournament, and they played them well the couple of times that they played each other. But one of the interesting things I want to mention before we get to tip-off here is the records might be similar, but the QRF for these two teams is very different. The Raiders are number 20 in the QRF and the Warriors are number 31. Now, interestingly enough, at number 19 in the QRF is De La Salle, which has just been a girls basketball powerhouse. They were the team that actually beat Sibley in the state tournament last year before it got canceled due to COVID.
Nice backstory. That was actually really excellent.
Well, Reagan, you know, I work in the area.
Yeah.
Shout out to Town Square Television for picking up this game.
Also, the final starter for the Warriors, Izzy Notchheim, number 5. As we get set for tip-off, as expected, Lily Newton will be jumping for the Raiders. I guess we're just going to play music the whole first half.
Yep.
And we are underway here in Henry Sibley as we get a quick drive to the bucket. Layup attempt, no good. Offensive rebound for Newton, couldn't get the layup to go. And now the Warriors back on the attack. Passed into the post, layup up, no good, but we have a foul call. So quick action on both ends, and we'll have our first free throw attempts of the night. Those will come from Caroline Anderson, the senior guard.
Yeah, those were rather quick possessions. It's almost like
Right.
there was a 5-second shot clock.
Right. So first free throw is up and good. And the Warriors get on the board first. And the second free throw rims out, and it'll be Newton with the rebound. And now up court goes Daly on the left side of the wing. Now back out to midcourt to set up the offense. Back to the left side, a little motion cut. Now into the left side, short corner, back out to the wing. Now top of the key, out near midcourt, swung around to the right side. Pass into the post. Now back to the left wing, inside of the free throw line is Newton. Newton corralling, wild shot off the backboard, no good. Rebound Warriors, now pushing on the fast break. And they'll hit the brakes and set up their offense as well. Looking good, over the top pass into the post, gets rejected. Now right side short corner. Thought about a three, passed on it. Ball is a little lost control there, but they'll regain. Screen on the right side wing, now into the short corner. Swing pass to the left corner. Three-pointer is up and good. Three-pointer for the Warriors is absolutely buried. That's Cece Bell, the 5'10 senior forward.
And just to go back there for a second, that was a great block from Hannah Schultz. The best blocks are the ones where you don't have to move at all. You just raise your hand up. You're rarely ever going to get called for that.
So a good defensive play from Schultz, but it still ends up in Warrior points. And now the Raiders back on the attack, now top of the key. Thought about a three. Newton on the attack into the lane. Stripped clean, gets her own loose ball and up for a shot. And we've got a foul call, so likely Newton will go to the free throw line, and we have a Warrior shaken up. And she says, I'm fine. So
toughen it out.
Yeah, love to see that. And I don't want to do the announcer jinx, but I'm going to do it anyways. Newton is, I would say, without doubt, the best scorer on this Raiders team, and she is a fantastic free throw shooter. So.
And she also got a little lucky on that drive-in. Some refs probably would have called that a charge.
Right, and I thought about that as well, but Newton hits a pair and gives the Raiders its first points of the night, and we've got a driving layup. Wild misses everything. Now top of the key, thought about a three-pointer, drives instead into the lane. Little footwork action off high glass and no good. And when all is said and done, it ends up in the hands of Schultz.
And that's a bit of a lucky break there for the Raiders defense, because it looked like a couple of players down low in the post didn't know their assignment.
And it was, and we get an errant pass that gets picked off from Newton, and now the Warriors will have possession as Parnell crosses midcourt and now swung around to the left side wing. Now top of the key, we got a couple screens. Thought about a three, decided against it. Now attacking into the lane, free throw line, gets stopped by a teammate. Left side three-pointer is up and no good. Rebound goes to Newton. So Newton will bring the ball up the floor. Now back out to midcourt to set up the offense. Now the right side wing, and now back top of the key, looking into the post. Now swung around to the right side short corner. Thought about a jumper. Passes on it, swung around. An additional pass, right side three-pointer up off front iron and no good. And rebound Warriors.
That was a great idea by the Raiders. If you pass like that, sometimes you miss open shots, but that passing is generally going to go for you in the game.
Right. An extra pass is usually always good. So the Warriors now setting up their offense, a screen near the top of the key. Little handoff. The tempo of this game has really slowed down in the last couple minutes.
Yeah, and surprisingly, we've seen a handful of turnovers, usually by this point in the game, but they've done a really good job at maintaining possession.
Three-pointer for Notchheim is up and no good, and now Newton with the ball on the left side. And she'll decide to take a jumper. Up and good. Lily Newton with an absolutely buried three-pointer, and suddenly the Raiders have the lead.
And you don't always expect that from the tallest player out on the court.
Right. She's got a smooth jump shot. So the Warriors, a screen near the top of the key. Ball gets loose. Newton tripped. Players collide. Bodies fly. Warriors back in the attack, and we've got. And we'll say offensive foul. Fans letting them know this is a basketball contest. We're not on the gridiron.
Well, maybe we should be on the gridiron right now.
Somebody get out there and paint the lines.
And that's just textbook what happens during a play breakdown when chaos ensues.
So it'll be an offensive foul for the Warriors, and now the Raiders have possession. They inbound, cross midcourt. Pass and cut action, looking for the post, not there. Newton on the far side. Now back out to Levos, top of the key. Free throw line extended. Now the right side. Looking for the short corner. The pass is there. Kicked back out. Swung around. Another swing pass to the left side for an open three off back iron and no good. Rebound fought for, but it ends up in the hands of Bell, who's going to push the pace. And we've got a deep two off front iron and no good. Rebound goes to Daly. Now Levos will set up the offense. Far side. Newton taking a baseline all the way around, up and under for Newton. What a fantastic layup for Lily Newton. Nice move. Really nice move. We've got a Curry range three from a couple of feet behind the three-point line. It won't go. Raiders corral the rebound, now leading 7-4. Swung around to the left side. Three-pointer is up. Off back iron and no good. Loose ball is hit, and they'll say it'll be a Warrior possession.
And I want to go back to the previous possession, that defense by C.C. Bell. I respect the getting in a player's face and screaming at him method of defense, the Sean Avery method if you're a hockey fan.
That's right.
That's always my favorite when I used to play lacrosse. Just try to stick your finger in somebody's ear.
Just scare them a little bit and hope it works.
Hey, if it's not crazy, if it works.
Right. If someone's just gonna fold if you yell at them, I don't see why not. So we've got substitution here for the Raiders as the Warriors inbound. That'll be Parnell out near midcourt. Now swung around to Monica Brown. Another screen near the top of the key and dumped into the post. Pass potentially tipped. So they'll try to reset. It's telegraphed. Raiders with a steal. Layup is up and good. That is Avery Daly picking it off, going the other way, and suddenly I think the Raiders were down 4-0, and now they lead 9-4.
Yeah, 9-0 run. And that's really been the key difference between these two teams. The Raiders, whenever they pass the ball, it's always to an open player. It's always a high probability pass, but on some of these possessions for the Warriors, you can tell they're really just trying to press the ball into a certain spot of the court, and sometimes, we've seen a couple of steals, a couple of turnovers, a couple of plays break down, and, it's just generally not a good idea to try to thread the needle if the opening's not there.
So kind of a slow start for the Raiders tonight. They got down early in the first minute or two. Maybe some nerves there. I mean, both teams kind of turnovers early, not really going through the offense, and now both teams have settled in, and the Raiders have put together a nice scoring run and lead 9-4 with 11.5 to go in the first half.
Well, you look at this last stretch for the Raiders. They've been really improved, and you're seeing it here tonight. In some of these games, they've been winning by a sizable margin. They've won 4 of their last 5. And interestingly enough, they both have a common opponent in number 3, Hill Murray. And the Raiders, quite frankly, got blown out by 30 points, and the Warriors, it was closer. It was a 14 or 15-point loss.
Wow.
And that, that just tells you that sometimes basketball math is not always accurate when two teams take the court.
So the Warriors will have possession out near midcourt. A nice crossover move now. Ball dumped in the post, trying to go over 2 defenders, using the pivot foot, but definitely trapped in the low post. And we've got, what do we have? There's no call. Are they going to say travel? I didn't see him make a signal. I just saw him pull the.
I was too busy trying to keep score.
All right, I guess I'm going to say travel. He didn't make any motion, but it'll be Raiders possession. Pass picked off. Nice defensive play there from Natalie Parnell. And she'll set up the Warriors offense, and now on the right side wing, back out to the top of the key. Looking for the low post pass inside is deflected and out of bounds, but it'll stay Warrior possession as we get a substitution.
Yeah, well, you'd know better than me, so please correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not a basketball scholar here, but this 2-3 zone defense seems to really be working for the Raiders here.
And they've, well, and a wild layup is off the glass and no good. But going back to what you were saying, they'll retain Warrior possession. Yeah, I mean, the 2-3 zone designed to defend the paint, and they've done exactly that, only giving up 4 points through the first essentially 8 minutes. And they've slowed down some of the bigs for the Warriors.
Yeah, you got to wonder how the Warriors could adjust here. Maybe if they can make a 3 and get some confidence, if they're playing this zone defense, maybe they can try to get back into the game that way.
Wild layup attempt is no good. Offensive rebound goes out back to the top of the key, just decides to pull the trigger off glass. The bank is apparently wide open. And we've got nearly a turnover there for the Raiders, as we'll have Levos on the right side wing, now into the short corner to Schultz. Inside to Newton. Jumper is up and off back iron, no good. And a fight for the rebound, it'll be Warrior possession. So a couple of stalled out trips here for the Raiders. So Warriors crossing midcourt, setting up the offense near the top of the key. Now swung around left side, looking for the post, pass deflected. And it's hard to get a pass over Lily Newton into the post. She's 6'1".
Yeah, that's certainly going to be a tall task. Looks like we'll have Izzy Noxheim and Area Eichhoff checking into the game for the Warriors.
Warriors running the line, inbound play, wild layup goes off back glass and finds a way to the bottom of the pylon. And they'll say bucket is good, count it, and 1.
Well, tie game here now at 9 apiece.
And now it'll be Noxheim at the free throw line to convert the N1.
And that was a wild angle that shot went in.
I can't believe that went in.
It seems like the Warriors at times have just been throwing the ball in the air and just hoping it lands in the net at times.
And that glass has been very forgiving so far. So Raiders, looks like they pass is tipped, so it's not a turnover. It won't be over and back. They'll kick out to the right side wing, now swung around to the left side. Dropped into the post, double team on Newton, trying to stay in bounds, save to Newton, swing pass to the right corner, thought about a 3, instead attacks. And now we go back out top of the key into the post to Newton. Absolute powerhouse, layup is offside iron, no good, and wow, that's a ticky-tack call.
Well, besides that, I love the defensive adjustments from the Warriors. What they've been doing is they've been swarming the Raiders.
It's a lot.
A lot of teams can't handle a full court press. Similarly, a lot of teams can't handle the double team. If you'll notice, anywhere the ball goes, they will immediately go for the double team, and that's been too much for the Raiders.
It's been a trap defense, and the way you have to beat that is quick passes. It's the swing passes that we saw earlier that led to a three-pointer for Newton.
Hey, we're both Falcons fans. We know that sometimes pressure can get to a team.
Right. Expectations, pressure, pretty much anything can lead to the wheels coming off.
We've seen 18-0 runs due to pressure on the court.
That's all right. Oh, So Warriors with eight and change to go here in the first half, lead 10-9. However, the Raiders have possession. Shot is absolutely rejected. So it'll be Warrior possession. Deep three-pointers up and off. Barely catching backboard. Kind of a wild three-point attempt right there, but
yeah, that one was shot out of a howitzer.
yeah, I guess the Raiders will be happy with it, considering it led to no points, and we've got a foul call.
I mean, that one, if it didn't hit the backboard, I don't know if it would have ever came down.
Yeah, that one was really coming in hot. So it'll be Raiders to inbound off the sideline. Now to the short corner. Thought about a three, passed on it. Now setting up the offense again out near midcourt. Looking for the post, still nothing there. Pass telegraph, picked off, loose ball, and it'll end up in Warrior possession, and we've got another ill-advised foul. Just not what you want to do there. It'll go against the center, Hannah Schultz.
Hey, maybe we should paint the gridiron on there. That was
Yeah.
that was a little fumble-rooski right there.
The biggest mistake you can make that I've seen in basketball is compounding mistakes. If you turn it over and then immediately foul, you've now made two mistakes. Just get back on defense. And we've got a layup attempt up, good, and fouled. That is Gabby Kirchner, the freshman center, coming in at 6'2".
Yeah, there's some pretty big size here on the court tonight.
Absolutely
but
towering.
I think you're right, Reagan. You know, there's no reason if you make a mistake to feel that you have to play hero ball, because a lot of times that'll compound to another mistake.
Free throw attempt is no good. Kind of a weird rebound, and it'll go to the offense. The Warriors will get another chance with the possession here. Couple jab steps on the left side wing. Now thought about a three, decides to pull the trigger, and they say long two instead. So it'll be CeCe Bell from just inside the arc. The Warriors now lead 14-9, 7 minutes to go in the first half. Beautiful inside pass. Layup is whiffed.
I mean, this is a game of runs, Reagan. The Warriors had a 4-0 run, then we had a 9-0 run for the Raiders, and now we're on a 5-0 run here.
Raiders have to find a way to get some momentum. So the Warriors passing into the post, going up. Layup is no good. Potentially an offensive rebound, but it ends up in Raider possession.
That was a lot of space they were giving Natalie Parnell on the outside.
Avery Daly will set up the offense. Now pass over to Levos. Now back to Daly. Inside of the post, ill-advised pass, and it's turned over by the Raiders again. Natalie Parnell comes up with the steal. Now screen, top of the key. And we'll get a bump. And it'll stay Warrior possession as we get a substitution. It'll be Newton replacing the 8th grader, Keegan McVicker.
And we'll also get a timeout called on the court, I believe, by the Raiders. You know, and that's really what they need. They need someone to come in and stop the run. Before you can think about getting back from 5 points, you got to at least, you know, make 2 points. And I think that'll help with Newton. You know, the tempo was really slowed down there for a good stretch of this first half. And I think they just need to go back to just settling down. There's no need, you know, anytime the play breaks down or they try to get the ball anywhere into the offensive zone, there's always a tip or a steal or something. Just really take your time and just focus on the passing. And like you said, it really almost never hurts to add an extra pass, and that's really what they were doing. Just get back to trying to find the open shot. A 3-point would do you a lot of good here.
And I think part of the problem so far for the Raiders is it's kind of careless basketball. There's been too many turnovers so far. It's passes that are, I mean, they're literally telegraphing the passes when they throw. The eyes are looking exactly where the pass is going. Bounce passes will do wonders if someone's trying to jump the route. The Warriors are playing too quality of trap defense, and the Raiders are turning it over too much. It's a recipe for disaster, and honestly, I think they're lucky to be only down 5 points right now.
Yeah, and, you know, Henry Sibley is a second-half team. They're a team that really gets it done in that half, and you look at their last couple of games, they're essentially identical, 57-35 victories. So they're used to kind of piling it on here in the first half these last couple of days.
So coming out of the timeout, Warriors again lead 14-9 as they have possession. A short corner jumper is no good. Rebound goes Newton. 6 minutes and change to go in the first half. Attacking the zone, pass inside, and it's on the floor. They say jump ball, and it'll be possession Warriors. And I'm no basketball coach, so take this with a grain of salt, but I think you got to start telling your guards to start pulling the trigger on threes. They're giving them space. If you pull the trigger, you have to make them commit to defend you. That's when you open up the post and you can go from there.
Originally, I was going to say I want to see what the Raiders will do in the post, but I think the addition of Kirchner just makes it so difficult that you do have size with some of your bigs, but yeah, they are having no success trying to work it inside the arc.
We'll get kind of a wild pass, bodies on the floor, and we've got over and back. So pass was never tipped by the Raiders. They'll say it's off the Warriors. It'll be over and back, and possession to Hastings.
Well, a little bit of a wrestling match breaking out there.
That's right. We're getting bodies on the floor as we'll get an inbound pass to Newton. And it'll be back to Daly near midcourt. We'll hand off to Levos. Now inside to Newton. Fading layup is no good. Going up for the rebound, can't quite corral it. A couple missed layups now for Newton in the first half.
And Reagan, this has probably been like 4 minutes of a scoreless drought here for the Raiders.
It's been a dry spell. So it'll be Warrior possession once again. Ball deflected, and it'll remain on this side of the floor as we'll get a substitution coming in, and it'll be the 5'9" 8th grader, guard number 22, Keegan McVicker. So Warriors trying to swing pass, gets tipped. Great defense by the Raiders. Now on the attack on a fast break. Absolutely beautiful pass. Layup is off front iron and won't go. What a pass that was. Got to convert the layup there. So it'll be Newton in the short side corner, attacking the lane. Gets hit hard, no call. Rebound ends up in Raiders' hands. Now kicked out, Newton pass inside to Schultz. Now back out to the three-point line. Ill-advised pass is turned over. And layup attempt on the fast break is no good. Offensive rebound and shot blocked.
Yeah, those are really what we would call low percentage passes right there. Not what you want to see if you're a fan of Hastings.
And if you're the Raiders, you got to find a way to convert these layups and these bunnies. So it'll be Warriors with possession, driving into the lane, kicked out top of the key. We've got a screen, trying to get some space. Ball's loose. And they'll maintain possession and set up the offense. Deep three-pointer is up and rims out. And so it'll be rebound Raiders. So it'll be McVicker on the right side, swing pass inside, and it's stolen again.
Again, there's just no reason to try to do a cross-court pass right there.
So Warriors get attacking in the lane, and we've got a foul call. Looks like it'll be a reach. So they'll say block, but the result is the same. It'll be a foul against the Raiders.
So we'll also have Maggie Schlottman checking into the game for Hastings. Hastings with a lot of size on the court right now.
And pass is on the ground. We've got bodies on the floor again. This has been a gritty game so far. Not very high scoring. Defense has done fairly well for both teams.
Well, and you wish it would be low scoring because of defense. A lot of the times it's the offense on either side that's making the mistakes.
A lot of turnovers by both teams so far in this first half, and we've got another timeout for the Raiders. So gonna talk it over. I don't think it's an exaggeration to say they haven't scored in 7 minutes of game time.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's been a long time.
I think it was out near the 10-minute mark when we got the first timeout when it was 9-4.
Again, but look at what I said a couple of minutes ago and what's happened since then. A lot of the passes are just, they don't make a lot of sense. Pass to the nearest person to you who's open and just work your way around the world. And if you got to come back and just try to find that open shot.
And I mean, first things first, you got to convert the layups. I think the Raiders have missed 3 layups in the last 2 minutes. And, you know, if you make those, suddenly you have the lead. But the turnovers have got to stop. I mean, the swing passes are, the cross-court swings are not working. You got to run it around the top of the key and then find offense that way. But just throwing cross-court skip passes against a trap defense, it's never going to work.
Well, Reagan, there's a lot of ways you can win a game. You could be really good at shooting or rebounding or whatever. But there's one surefire way to lose a game, and that's with turnovers. No matter how well you play in the other facets, if you turn the ball over, you are not going to win the game.
So it'll be Raiders to inbound. Right side, now back to out near midcourt, swung around. Pass, wide open three-pointer is up and absolutely buried. Levos for 3.
And, you know, they were really knocking him. Absolutely. They were really knocking him down, before the game.
And that's what I was saying earlier in the first time out was you got to start taking and making some of these threes and make them commit to you on the outer edge so you can open up the post game.
Especially from the wing. They've had a lot of success shooting the 3 from the wing tonight.
Warriors trying to answer off front iron and corralled by Newton.
And you know what's crazy, Reagan, for his many mistakes as the Raiders have made, it's only a 2-point game.
Right. And hitting a 3 like they did in the last possession, it just must feel like new life. So we get an offensive rebound. Newton going straight at him. Layup is up and good. Newton converts while getting absolutely hammered on the layup attempt, and she'll go to the free throw line to try and give the Raiders its first lead since maybe 11 minutes to go in the first half.
And that's got to feel good, too, because conventional wisdom would tell you to just swing that out beyond the arc to your teammate because she's had a lot of shots like that and missed or blocked tonight, so it's got to feel good to finally hit on that play.
And Newton's a dominant scorer. That's what she's good at, and she's missed some bunnies early, but if you're the Warriors, you can't expect that to continue the entire game. Eventually, she's going to get it turned on. And we have a double dribble call going against Newton, so it'll be a turnover, going right back to Warrior possession. Knotted up at 14 here with just over 2 minutes to go in the first half. Kind of a stagnant offense so far right now for the Warriors in this possession. But they'll drive into the lane off glass, no good. Rebound goes to Newton. And the Raiders, that was dangerous. They'll maintain possession now to the right side corner. Now back out near midcourt. Pass over to McVicker. Now swung around to Levos. She'll take a 3 and make another 3. Levos, consecutive 3-pointers. And suddenly she's on fire.
Yeah, and what did I say? Wing, shooting from the wing, shooting 3-pointers. If this was NBA Jam, she'd be on fire right now.
Absolutely. The bucket gets 5 times bigger. She jumps out of the gym.
I say you just feed the beast next time on offensive possession.
And we've got a corner 3 that rims out. Easy offensive rebound, and layup is up and good.
Yeah, you never want to allow your opponent to be the closest to the ball there.
And now we've got a full court press coming on for the Warriors, so interesting defensive adjustments here so far. Now Raiders back on offense. You got to think they're looking for Levos. And pass couldn't be corralled. Schlottman couldn't get a hold of it, and it'll be Warriors possession.
Now, in my humble opinion, if I was a college or high school coach, my defense entirely would be full court press.
Right.
I'll be curious to see how they react to a true full court press because, seriously, some teams can't break it.
And just fold immediately.
Or by the time they figure it out, it's a 20-0 run.
Right. I've always said that as well. If I'm ever a coach, I'm going to be pressing. Warriors, right side 3 up and no good. Rebound goes McVicker, and she'll start to attack. Kind of a 1-on-3 look. Pass to the wing. Now inside of the post. Couldn't get it through the lane, and it's another turnover for the Raiders. Warriors going the other way. Kind of out of control, but they'll say still Warrior possession.
So you're saying if you were ever the head coach of the girls River Falls basketball team, that's what you would do?
We're pressing. That's right.
Who was the name? This is terrible insider TV, but who was the name of the coach?
Oh,
Derek?
the guy who, I think you're right. It was Derek something.
The guy who always took his jacket off and came back to win the game?
Right.
Hey, maybe that's what head coach Scott Addyman needs to do. He's got to take off. I don't know what he has underneath that.
Let him know it's business. And we're getting serious here when the jacket comes off, as we've got an ill-advised pass.
Second possession in a row.
I mean, if you watch this game with no scoreboard, there's no way you'd say the Raiders would be winning. I mean, it's been sloppy so far, and they've still got a 1-point advantage. So the last possession of the first half ends kind of in a weird layup attempt that doesn't go. And the Raiders have a 17-16 lead over the Warriors as we go into the break. Any quick analysis before we send it?
Yeah, if they can continue to hit on some of these passes and not turn the ball over. Listen, it's not like your opponent plays a perfect game. So a lot of the times, there's an open shot or there's something when you can just pass the ball and not turn the ball over. It's not like you have to play perfect. But, assuming you can do that, I mean, obviously they have the lead, which is a little crazy when you look statistically. And, I don't know. I think it's really turning on for the Raiders here as we await the second half.
I think so, too. And real quickly, if you limit turnovers and you start hitting some of those threes, you're going to win the game for the Raiders. I mean, they have to take advantage of what's being given to them. The defense, and smartly so for the Warriors, has been to trap everywhere. And really, there's no need to feel down.
That is true. That's a very good point.
Young man, let me tell you, there's no need to feel down. But real quick, the post game, they're going to get trapped. You got to kick it out. You got to hit the threes. So with that being said, the Raiders have a 17-16 lead, and we'll take a quick break here from Henry Sibley. Come back for the second half in a bit. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to HCTV Sports for the second half of the girls varsity basketball action. The visiting Hastings Raiders coming into the game at 4-3 versus the home team, the Henry Sibley Warriors, coming into the game at 3-4 for some Metro East Conference play. And kind of an interesting first half. I mean, the Raiders were a bit sloppy, but then again, so were the Warriors for stretches, and the Raiders have a 17-16 lead here as we get set to start.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think if you're the Raiders, there's obviously a lot of things to clean up, but there's a lot of things to like. And I think most notably, everybody's getting it done for Hastings. It's not just Lily Newton going for 24, which, not that that's a bad thing.
Right.
But, it seems like everybody. I mean, Avery Daly's just, Shea Levos is just draining threes. And Newton is finding a little more success in the post towards the latter parts of the first half. So, there's a lot to like if they can really clean up the passing, which I know they can because we saw it at the beginning of the game. Their passing was really crisp. So, I know they can get back to it.
And I think that's the key for me is you got to limit the turnovers and you got to convert on the offensive end. The defense has been fine so far. You've only given up 16 points through the first 18 minutes. That will get the job done, but you got to find a way to put the ball in the bucket and extend this lead if you're the Raiders.
And Reagan, just a special shout out to Town Square Television for picking up the game. I don't know what they are or who they're about, but shout out to Town Square. I heard they got some cool people over there.
That's right. Shout out to Town Square as we get an ill-advised pass, and once again, the story of the game has been turnovers.
I've heard that their main play-by-play is a male model.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've heard he's really great at football and hockey.
Yeah, I heard he's really good at Dirty Bird radio.
What about Wacky Eau Claire radio?
Wow, that too. He's a dual threat.
he's a five-tool commentator.
He's the Willie Mays of sports broadcasting.
He's DiMaggio. And the wheels are off for our broadcast.
He's the Chuck Bednarik of broadcasting.
All right.
Dutch Earl Clark.
He's the Gale Sayers of basketball.
The Kansas Comet. I think we've thoroughly confused everybody enough.
We have.
Reagan.
The listeners have no idea what's going on as we get Newton backing down to the post, throwing bodies around, and we get a jump ball.
Yeah, it really looked like Lily Newton was about to throw a little judo hip toss out there.
And they say jump ball instead, no foul. Looking for the inbound, running out of time. Ill-advised pass is picked off. Warriors going the other way, now back out. Right side wing, three-pointer is up off back iron. Rebound fought for, but ends up in the hands of Daly, who will attack down the sideline and is pushed out of bounds, and they'll say it's going to be a blocking foul against Natalie Parnell, the 5'6" senior guard.
Yeah, you know, and there's been some mistakes in this game, but fouls have not really been one of them. I think there was 9 fouls between the two teams in the first half, so it's been a really clean game so far.
It's been a clean game so far, and you'd like to see it continue in the second half as well, as the Raiders establish their offense on trying to figure out how to attack this 2-3 zone of the Warriors.
I don't think anybody's yet in foul trouble, but I'll let you know if it happens.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll mention it 25 more times. So we get Newton near the elbow, now swung around left side, wide open three is up and short. Offensive rebound, going straight back up with it, blocked. Another offensive rebound.
It was a one-man army.
Ball is loose. Warriors going the other way. Newton on the defense. Ball is rejected.
Well, ball don't lie.
What a crazy series of events that was, and when all is said and done, no points are scored and the Raiders have possession. Wild 90 seconds right there.
Yeah, I might need somebody smarter than me to make sense of that entire sequence. I might have to call up the D3 rules expert Jim Sturm to get his analysis on that.
If we could get him via phone, wouldn't that be nice?
Well, we have the technology, I'm sure.
I'm sure we do. And a pass slips through Newton's hands, slightly high, but likely should have been corralled. And now pass nearly picked off the other way. Warriors attacking into the lane. Layup is up, goes around the world a little bit, and gets it to fall.
And that's 7 points for CC Bell, which doesn't sound like a lot, but in this low-scoring game, she's really been getting it done for the home team.
And another high pass that sails out of bounds off the fingertips of Daly. And, I mean,
you hate to see that.
The Raiders just plagued by turnovers tonight.
You got to use some of that Jerry Rice stickum.
Right. We need pine tar.
I'll call Michael Pineda.
Three-pointer off back iron is no good. Big Mike making an appearance in the broadcast.
Yeah. Boy, I'd like to be employed in the future, so I'll refrain from any more Twins takes.
I'll call George Brett as the Warriors go on the attack. Layup is up and no good. But we get a foul call, so they'll go to the line. Now leading 18-17 with just a few ticks over 15 to go in the second half.
Well, it's the old Jake Lehman strategy where you just try to drive to the net and either you make the shot or you hope you get fouled.
And again, a little bit of around the world in the free throw, but getting it to fall. That's Notchheim at the free throw line, 5'8" junior guard. And she'll go 1 of 2 on her trip to the charity stripe, as the Warriors have a 2-point lead over the visiting Raiders. So Raiders setting up the offense, looking for the post. Pass is sailed out of bounds again, and it's another turnover.
I mean, I don't really know what you do to fix that. They're just not making passes.
Yeah, and I can't tell if it's nervy, if they're a little nervous and just sailing it or what. But
I mean, seriously, there's a lot of different styles of offenses, but unless you just want to play ISO, like you're gonna have to pass the ball, whether or not it's triangle or anything.
Right.
I mean, you got to connect on passes.
And it looks like they've been working pass and cut tonight, and they've been lacking on the pass. But the defense has been pretty stellar as well for this Raiders team, as we see Newton defending, and that's an interesting foul call.
Well, that's her third foul, so starting to drift into foul trouble here.
And now you wonder if she's going to get pulled, because if she picks up a fourth with 14 to go, I mean that's your no doubt best player.
Yeah,
quickly in foul trouble.
I don't have the live stats in front of me, but as we get an air ball there, but I'd imagine the plus minus for Hastings when she's on the court is night and day.
Right.
At least tonight. And I assume the rest of the season.
She's a great defender. She can score from pretty much anywhere in the floor on offense. And she's a smart player. So, I mean, she's someone you need on the floor.
Some might say she's the Kevin Durant of this Hastings basketball team. I mean, I didn't say that, but some people might say that.
Some might say it.
I've heard people say it.
Are they the Nets? Are they the Brooklyn Nets then?
Well, I hope not, because they've been losing a lot of games recently.
No. This Raiders team plays better defense than the Nets. Kevin Durant catching errant shots in a high school broadcast.
Well,
Catching strays.
I think a team of broom mops would play better defense than the Nets.
Than Harden, Durant, and Irving.
Yeah. They're going to win every game 170 to 165.
And we've got foul call. Kind of interesting. They say shooting foul. I don't know that qualifies as a shot, but they'll say it was. And we'll get more free throws here for the hometown Warriors. 2-point advantage with 13:42 to go in the second half. First free throw off back iron and no good, and we'll get a substitution. And it's kind of dangerous, but I like the coaching strategy of leaving Newton in the game. If you pull her off the floor, it could get out of control quickly, and then suddenly you find yourself down 10 with 8 minutes to go or something like that. So I like playing aggressive here.
Yeah, it's more of a practical thing as opposed to theoretical. You know,
right.
What if she fouls out?
Theoretically, you pull her out, but in reality, you need her on the floor right now.
Well, sure. What if she fouls out? But what if you're down by 15 and then it doesn't matter if she didn't foul out?
Exactly. Layup attempt is up and sent back, and we've got potentially a steal. McVicker's on the floor, and although it will be Warrior possession, the next jump ball will go the Raiders' way, so not for nothing. Good effort there from McVicker. So the Warriors establishing their offense in the right side wing, now to the short corner. Looking for the post, nothing there. Swung around left side wing. Now back to the left corner. Just trying to find an opening in this Raiders defense, which they haven't been able to do yet on this possession. Now back out near midcourt. Now right side going baseline ball. And they'll say Raiders ball, so nice defensive possession there from Hastings.
And Reagan, slowly but surely, we're on another one of these significant scoring droughts here for the Raiders. I don't think they've scored here in the second half.
Yeah, and we're 6 minutes in, essentially into the second half, and we'll get Newton driving into the lane. Ball's on the floor. She's getting hit, and that's a fortunate foul call for the Raiders. That looked like it was going to be a turnover. And instead, it'll be a foul. And the Raiders will inbound from underneath the basket.
And that's typically why you don't drive through triple coverage right up the pipe there.
And so ball will be successfully inbounded to Levos. And just not the pass to make, but stays in Raider possession. Now driving into the short corner is McVicker. Swung around to the left side. Levos attacking. Layup is up and rejected. As the Warriors come back down the floor, crossing midcourt, now on the right side. Raiders defense needs to find a way to get another stop. So we get some swing pass, and that'll leave an open three, which is just short. Offensive rebound, now going baseline is Parnell. Now kicked out, driving into the lane. Layup is up, off left iron, no good. Rebound goes to Newton.
Yeah, Knoxheim had a lot of space there. Probably should have just pumped up a triple.
Right. And we'll see swing pass to McVicker. Now back out to Baker. Now so nearly a turnover there for McVicker, but she corrals it. Back out to Levos. Now looking for Newton in the post. One dribble, jumper is up and no good. Offensive rebound goes to Baker. Swung around, wide open three-pointer. The Raiders needed that one to go, but couldn't quite go for Levos off back iron, and rebound goes Warriors.
And Reagan, this is just the problem. A lot of the times there's option A, B, and C on these passes, and it seems like the Raiders are just always choosing option C.
Right, and around the world layup is no good.
That's a fortunate rim out.
Three-pointer is up and absolutely buried. Izzy Knoxheim for triple.
And I'd have to imagine she probably would have made that about a minute ago. She's already at 7 points.
Now the Warriors lead extended to 5 points with just south of 11 to go. Newton attacking the rim. layup just doesn't fall. It just hasn't been her night from inside the paint. So Warriors establishing the offense, and we'll get almost a trap look from the Raiders on defense. Now swung around back to the right side, pass into the post. Double teamed, kicked out, thought about a three. Instead, swung around, extra pass. Three-pointer is up, and wow, we have a foul call. Notsheim will go to the free throw line for 3 of them. And that is a potentially devastating foul for the Raiders. First free throw of 3 is no good. Lead remains 10 minutes and 14 seconds to go in the second half. So we'll get Notsheim's second. Gets that one to fall, so slowly extending as we get a couple substitutions here, notably Newton leaving the floor. Joined by Schlottman and McVicker, so.
Well, Reagan, we'd like to thank Lisa Hedin for tuning into the game on Facebook.
Oh yeah, give the Facebook group some love.
Potentially the mother of Simon Hedin, question mark?
You never know what's going on. We've got to travel, so it's another turnover for the Raiders.
Brad Jackson tuning into the game. That's a strong name. We got a timeout here called.
It's a strong American name, that's right.
Yeah, Diane Rother also tuning in.
Can't touch this.
Well, I could make some puns, but I'm not gonna.
I was waiting for one.
Eh.
I gave you a meatball down the pipe and just was waiting for you to swing.
Well, yeah.
But here we are, Warriors.
It would have been something about the Raiders' offense and not touching the basket here the last handful of minutes.
Warriors lead 24-17 over the visiting Raiders. It's just been a tough night. I would love to see, it'd be nice to have live stats for this because I'd love to see the turnover numbers for both teams, to be fair. There's been a lot of turnovers for both squads, but especially in the first 8 minutes of the second half, I mean.
So, Reagan, you're in a really interesting spot here because there's 10 minutes to go. Presumably, you're going to have to take out Lily Newton at some point to rest her. But you need points. And she's pumping up a lot of shots and not making it, and the offense really seems to run to her. She'll make these drives to the basket, and you know it's on Hastings because they're not making it. But I don't know what adjustment has to be made. The shots are just not going down, and those are on the possessions that they can actually get.
And the thing is, some of the shots will likely go down if you get more possessions, and that's limiting turnovers. But it's something they haven't done very well tonight. And there's 10 minutes left. They've got a lot of time left. They're still in this game. So Warriors will try a skip pass. Now into the elbow. Short corner jumper is up and no good. Rebound goes Baker.
And I will say, strong uniforms here for the Raiders. That really goes, on the wayside here. But kind of like the Warriors, kind of like the Phoenix Sun.
I like these uniforms.
Very clean uniforms.
So we'll get a pass into the post to Baker. Now kicked out. Jackson now to Levos. Now back to Jackson. Now Levos attacking. And nice pass. What a pass right there. Levos dishing to Schultz, the 6'1 senior center, converting, and the lead has been cut to 5 for the Warriors. Deep three-pointer is up and rims out. Rebound goes Schultz.
Boy, that is lucky. That would have been an 8-point lead in this defensive affair.
Yeah, and that, threes coming at an absolute premium in this ball game right now. So Schultz now swung around, and Daly had a three but passed on it. Now inside to the post to Baker. Baker over to Levos, now out to Jackson. Jackson attacking the lane, gets hit, takes contact, wild shot off the glass. And they'll say Warrior possession.
Yeah, and there really wasn't a need there to force the shot. I know you're down, but you're not down by that much.
So Newton checks back in. So the Warriors set up the offense. Now on the right side, now back out near midcourt, top of the key, free throw line. Another three-pointer from the right side. She is an absolute hair trigger. She'll pull it any time, and she's hitting all of them. Notsheim from beyond the arc again tonight. And you think you learn who the shooter is by this point in the game. She's pulling pretty much immediately when she gets the ball behind the arc.
Well, I think she's 3 of 4 from beyond the arc. That's 12 points for Izzy Notsheim.
So now Daly passing over. Layup is up and no good, but we've got a foul call, so Levos will go to the line to shoot a pair.
It's another very interesting foul call right there.
And now south of 8 minutes to go, trailing by 8 points. It's starting to get into do or die territory here, considering how the defense is played tonight for both teams. So the first free throw is good for Levos. Some substitutions. We'll get McVicker back on the floor, and we'll also get Schultz back on the floor. So a couple of substitutions there for the Raiders. And second free throw is good, so that's got to feel good for the Raiders. The lead is now cut to 6, but they need a defensive stop. And a turnover forced, but trapped. That's when you call a timeout. I don't know if they have any left. I wish we had a score. Wish we had a scoreboard to tell me.
Yeah, that's definitely, you know.
But I mean, that situation, that is textbook. You call a timeout there.
Well, if we had more technology here, I would love to see a shot clock instituted for high school basketball. But yeah, some of these, really depends on the facility.
So Raiders with possession. It'll be McVicker now inside, and ball is loose. Corralled. Thought about a three, but passed on it. And trapped again. Ball. It's turned over again for the Raiders.
Yeah, again, it's that pressure. It's that trap defense. It's really presenting some problems here for Hastings.
And they just haven't adjusted to it tonight. They've struggled the entire game with it. But to be fair, their defense has been fantastic as well. Nearly. And a short corner jumper just rims out. Couldn't get it to go for Newton. Had a good look at it. Couldn't get it to fall. And now Warriors back on the attack as they'll set up the offense. And little crossover going straight into the lane. And we've got good call. Great call. Travel. I thought they were going to give her a block there and kind of bail out the Warriors, but a nice travel call. And nobody's paying attention. You got to get the ball. Okay, there we go. So the Raiders successfully inbound as Levos will get things started. Now to McVicker and back over to Daly. Daly attacking. Now McVicker in the short corner. Newton thought about a three, driving instead. Gets hit hard, and they'll say a foul call. So we'll have Newton going to the free throw line. If you're the Raiders, you got to be happy about this. Lead has been cut to 6, and you got likely your best free throw shooter going to the stripe.
Yeah, well, it's not enough to just go to the line. You got to make them. And
right.
As the team, the Raiders are hitting on 65% of their free throws this season.
I shouldn't have said anything.
Way to go, Reagan. You managed to jinx that one. Now, what's your email so that the fans can send hate mail to you?
My P.O. box is already full.
Oh, perfect. You can just buy a second one.
So yeah, just give me the biggest one you got for the hate mail. So Newton converts on the second. Lead has been trimmed to 5. A few ticks over 6 minutes to go in the second half as Warriors have possession. Thought about a three, instead goes baseline. Pass inside, beautiful pass inside, and it's a nice layup. That's up and good for Kirchner.
Yeah, great assist there from Bell, not forcing it herself, but being a good teammate and getting it to the open shot.
Trailing by 7, McVicker into the lane. Layup is up and rejected. Warriors taking it the other way. And we've got a wide open three near the top of the key, which is up and no good. And rebound goes Schultz. And it'll be McVicker crossing half court, now passed over to Daly. Daly driving into the lane. Ball is on the floor, ends up in the hands of Schultz. Now over to Levos. McVicker attacking. quick little pull-up jumper off backboard and no good. Lead is still 7 for the Warriors, 5:10 to go in the second half. So Warriors into the short corner, now left side wing, three-pointer is up and no good. Offensive rebound layup no good, and it'll be Raiders possession. I feel like if one of these threes goes, it could be the death blow.
Yeah, the Warriors really have the Raiders on the ropes here.
And they just, I mean, a couple open threes they've missed, which has been uncharacteristic tonight. They've been fantastic from behind the arc. But the Raiders just hanging around. Lead is only 7.
Well, and I also got a little concerned, Reagan, because as the play was coming over right in front of our booth, you know, listen, we've had players come over the table at River Falls, but,
good point.
You know, that was a nice, solid piece of you know, oak, and this is
right.
just a small table. We're gonna get knocked over. It's gonna look like a Buffalo Bills tailgate.
The only thing that would make this more Bills is if we set the table on fire.
Well, there's a couple of other things that would make it more Buffalo Bills
right.
that I believe they banned, but yeah, I digress.
Yeah, if we caught a body at this table, it might be GG for the broadcast. It might just be over for us.
Well, I'm just letting you know I'm a coward. I'm pushing you into the body, and I'm out of here. I'm out of here.
Oh, somebody, a human shield.
Absolutely. Hey, this is a ruthless sport. I mean, I got to look out for my own.
That's right.
I'm going to sacrifice your PCL for the greater good.
Sometimes you got to put the body on the line, typically in sports, but even in broadcasting, you never know.
Hey, listen, that's why God gave you 4 ligaments in your knees. You could lose one of them.
I don't want to get carted out of here. I'd like to drive home.
Oh, no, you're on your own.
My legs just attached, like trying to drive.
You can crawl to your car.
The layup attempt is partially blocked, and it's Kirchner with the rejection. As we get a substitution, that's Levos replacing Schultz. Inside of the post to Newton, ball's on the floor. And that will be number 4, likely on Newton.
Yeah, no, that's going to be a problem.
And now with 4 minutes to go, I think you have to leave her in. You're down 7 with under 5.
I mean, typically that wouldn't feel like so much, but just given the defensive nature of this game, I'm not saying that
right.
A three-pointer would get you into this really good. I'm not saying it's insurmountable, but it kind of feels that way.
Right, and based on how this game has gone tonight, like you said, I mean, 7, it feels like 20. It's the Warriors on the attack, now trapped in the quarter. Raiders playing great defense. Ball still ends up in Warrior hands. Thought about a 3, that she's been quick with it all night. And the Raiders close out accordingly. Now back on the attack. McVicker crossing midcourt, now over to Levos.
Yeah, and you hold your breath when Knoxheim takes a shot.
Right. Newton attacking, gets blocked. Now back out to Newton again, going straight back in. Layup is up and good, so a nice recovery there from Newton.
Well, thankfully that worked because McVicker was calling for the ball, was wide open. You know, we've seen plenty of shots not go in.
Layup is partially blocked, retains Warrior possession, three-pointer no good. And now lead back to 5. Raider possession, feel like they need points here. So we get Jackson, now to McVicker for 3. A little too much juice on it. Pass out to Newton, nice save from Newton. Now over to Jackson. McVicker on the right side, back to Jackson. Now to Newton on the left side. Three-pointer up and no good. That would have been a huge 3.
Yeah, and anytime I see Levos on the wing, I'm just thinking, get the ball to her.
We've got another open three-pointer, and finally the Warriors connect a big-time three-pointer.
And that is 15 points for Knoxheim, mostly coming from beyond the arc. And Reagan, that very well could be your dagger.
And I think that's just a coaching adjustment that has to be made as we get a no-advised pass picked off. Warriors in a 1-on-0, and she stepped out of bounds.
That is a lucky break for the Raiders.
It's a turnover. Going back to what I was saying, I think there needs to be a coaching adjustment made. You know, when you call one of those first timeouts and you see that Knoxheim is just going to pull the trigger and shoot threes the whole night. Defenders need to immediately suck to her and close out. And that, I mean, it just hasn't been done very well tonight.
Well, and there's no question she can make the three, so
Right.
it shouldn't come as a surprise when you play very soft defense and she daggers another one that you're down by 8.
And typically high school players aren't going to just start jacking threes. So if you see someone that comes in as just shooting and shooting from beyond the arc, you know they can make those, and eventually they're going to start falling.
Well, and she's a high IQ player. She's not forcing any of these.
Right.
She's wide open. She's not taking, just a dozen 3-point shots and making 12%.
Newton with a nice recovery and a short corner jumper. 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go. Warriors lead 32-26, now attacking. Layup is up and good.
That's 9 points for Newton, 9 points for Bell.
So lead is back up to 8. Now south of 2 to go. The Raiders got to get something going quick. Feel like this one has to go in. Doesn't quite get it to go for Newton. Offensive rebound. Nice layup, though. And the lead cut to 6. So you get a stop, you hit a 3, and the game is completely changed.
Yeah, and there was a little bit of hesitation from Newton on that 3-point shot, but really got bailed out there by Emma Baker.
And Newton, just based on, I mean, the first game that I ever called, basketball game, I should say, for HCTV, was the game against North St. Paul, and Newton was absolutely excellent. I think she started like 8 for 8 from the free throw line, was dominating the glass, and tonight it's just been, the defense has been good, and the rebounding has been good, but the offense has just been slightly off, and it's been enough, definitely, I would say, for a 6-point change.
Yeah, and, really, is there a sport she can't play? She's also very good on the volleyball court. But, I agree, and that's probably the most frustrating part is knowing that, you very well could be the team that's up by 6 points right now and have, the home team on the ropes. This game is very wishy-washy with how it goes. The tides sometimes come in for the Warriors, sometimes for the Raiders, but obviously more often for the Warriors because they got a 6-point lead here. But, again, there's a lot of things to like, but there's just a lot of really key things to fix on both sides.
Yeah, and I want to make it clear, I'm not putting any of the blame on Newton because I think she's the best player on this team. She's fantastic, and she does a lot of the scoring. But, you can't just, especially when a team is playing trap defense, you can't expect a player to just have 25 every night and say, well, if she doesn't have it, then we lose. You got to find other ways to get the offense going.
Well, and this game is so pivotal. When you're in the middle of the standings, a win or loss really feels like a bigger deal. So with both of these teams, at 4-3 and 3-4, whether or not you end up in the cellar or whether or not you go up there and challenge Hill Murray or Matamida, it really feels like it can hinge on this game.
Right.
Especially because, surprisingly, we're already at the halfway point of the basketball season.
So pass tipped out of bounds, and Hunter nearly got a souvenir there. So we get a loose ball, and
I'm sure he's got his head on a swivel.
should we just start using football draft lingo? His head's on a swivel and the oily hips let him get to the ball quickly.
He's really a gem. He's really a sleeper.
Warriors with a 2-on-1. Layup is no good. Oh, couldn't quite corral the rebound, and now you got to play tight defense. Yeah. Since there is no shot clock, you got to force an error here. And we've got a jump ball. Excellent defensive play there from the Raiders. They won't get possession, but that could loom large.
You know what Hunter is if this was the NFL draft? He would be the SOD. He'd be the steal of the draft.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? If I had the first overall pick in a draft of any kind, I would draft Hunter.
And we've got a steal for the Raiders. The lead is only 6, 1:20 to go. And suddenly there's new life. You gotta think either. All right. We got the home crowd letting them know.
Those are a handful of 50-50 scenarios that have all gone the way of the Raiders the last 20 seconds.
Right. Yeah, you got to be thinking, not that.
Anything but that.
Yeah, you got
anything but a turnover.
Yeah, you got to be thinking 3-pointer there, and instead it's a tipped pass that gets picked off,
and you'll have to foul.
Yeah,
there's no shot clock.
You need a steal in the next 10 seconds or so, or else you.
Why would you take a shot unless it's wide open?
Right. There's the foul.
There you go. Smart play there by McVicker.
So an intentional foul with 57 seconds to go.
I mean, that's really the beauty of high school basketball, which can be frustrating at times, is that you'll have to play your 2-minute strategy sometimes when there's 4 minutes to go.
Right.
Because we have seen at Town Square, we've seen teams where they literally just hold the ball for the final 4 minutes, and it's on the team that's down to do something.
Right. And the first of 1-1 is no good, so she won't get the second. Lead remains 6. Raiders catch a break, and now they need a three-pointer. They'll hand it off to Newton. Newton driving, and she's hit hard, so nice job there to get to the free throw line in less than 9 seconds after inbounding the ball.
And you're hoping you just go to the line because that shot almost landed in another zip code.
Right. And this is a smart play as well, and she's going to get 2 shots, so.
And it'll be interesting, as they missed the first one, it'll be interesting to see the strategy that the Warriors implement because they are in the bonus.
Right.
So we've seen Bell miss a couple. You know, the free throw percentage at the high school level is not exactly what it would be at the collegiate or the NBA level, so it'll be curious to see who gets the ball. And that's probably, if they can manage to foul her, which they quite literally have to do.
So Newton missing a pair. Warriors have possession, 35 seconds to go, intentional foul. And that's on Newton, so that'll be her 5th.
And that's probably the last person you want to see at the line, Izzy Knoxheim, who's just been shooting lights out here tonight. You could have saved yourself probably 6 seconds and fouled Bell and have her go to the line.
So the lead is 6, and we're really getting peanut gallery comments from right behind us. I don't know what they're in reference to.
Well, you know, that's the benefit of sitting courtside.
Especially I like doing visiting games because it's always fun hearing fans just heckle a little bit, especially road teams.
Well, usually if you were getting courtside tickets for, you know, like a Timberwolves game, you'd have to spend upwards of $7 to get those tickets. So these are free here.
And don't forget, that $7 courtside ticket, that comes with a meal
Don't
voucher.
say it. Don't say it.
That comes with a meal voucher.
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
And some nachos.
Well, you know the old joke about Timberwolves season tickets, and, you know, the joke is you'd have to break someone's car and leave season tickets in there.
That's right. So Warriors lead is still 6. We've got another intentional foul.
Reagan, I remember when they were really bad, probably like right before they got Rubio.
Was it this year?
Wow. Okay, they've always been really bad, but when they were really, really bad, I think season tickets, please don't quote me. But I think they were like $30. They were giving them away when you got like gym memberships at certain places.
Oh, yeah. So the first of the 1-1 is good, so she'll get the second. Lead extended to 7 with under 25 seconds to go. So feels like an all-she-wrote kind of thing. Lead now to 8.
Yeah, 2 very clutch free throws there from Bell, who showed some troubles early on in the game from the charity stripe, but
you got to shoot threes here. And we'll see a drive, layup no good. And another intentional foul, so the last 13 and a half seconds of this game will be a formality. Going back to the Timberwolves season tickets.
Oh, no.
I mean, they used to give out, it used to be literally you could get a decent seat for $5 and you could get a meal voucher and a beverage as well.
Yeah, I've gotten some pretty good deals off of some places for Timberwolves games.
So now that the Warriors are in the double bonus, they'll get 2 regardless of if the first goes in or not.
Well, what's your best 8-point play?
Is Reggie Miller available?
I don't know what he's doing. Does he still have high school eligibility?
He went 8 points in 9 seconds, so you never know. And what a 3 right there from Levos.
Well, that's definitely going to help things.
Too little, too late, but well, I can't say that. You score 6 points in 5 seconds.
Gosh, you're such a negative Nancy, Reagan. Game's not over till the fat lady's singing.
We see Reggie Miller just demask and come in a Pacers jersey and just start bombing threes.
We do not have accurate GPS location for where he is right now, so that is a distinct possibility.
So first free throw is no good for 2 shots for the double bonus. And he's probably calling a TNT game. Second free throw is no good. 3 seconds. Better launch one. And just left it a little short. But it will be a 37-31 victory for the Warriors. And I mean, let's just get into some quick analysis here. What's your initial reactions to how this game went?
Yeah, I mean, it was a little bit frustrating at times for both teams, but if you're the Raiders again, you know, I always say this, you know, you know, there's a lot to like, but, you know, you just got to clean up some things. You got to clean up some of the passing. You got to clean up some of the turnovers. And, you know, again, I think it's fixable because we did see them come out, you know, with very crisp passing. I have no idea what would have caused them to go away from that. But, you know, you got to give credit to the Warriors. They're not a slouch either. You know, they're a middle of the standings team. So, you know, they are beating some people. And, you know, they are on a 2-game, now 3-game winning streak. And for the Raiders, you won 4 of your last 5. And now you lose this one. And, you know, you're at 4-4, but, you know, we still got half a season to go, so there's still a lot of basketball left to play.
There's a lot of games left, and like I was saying earlier, but I mean in the you know 80-second pregame that we had. What a song! What a song! They've been great tonight on the audio. I won't lie about it.
Very debatable. Very debatable.
I mean, Sweet Caroline. I think she'd say there's an absolute log jam in the Metro East standings right now near the middle. You got Hill Murray at the top at 7-0, and in the cellar you've got North St. Paul at 0-7. But in between that, it's a lot of 4-3s, a lot of 3-4s. So by no means out of it in terms of playoff contention for this Raiders team. But I think if Newton hit a few more shots, I still think she played pretty well. But I mean, she holds herself to such a high standard that I mean she's capable of going for 25 a night. And it just wasn't her night tonight. But the team's got to pick up that slack, and you got to limit turnovers. So,
just expert analysis, as if I would ever expect anything else from St. Croix Falls' finest.
That's right. This was fun.
Well, Reagan, hopefully we can do it again sometime.
Wouldn't it be nice?
Well, one can dream. So you got anything else, Reagan? Any more hot sports takes about this game, or do you feel satisfied?
I think we're good. I'm satisfied.
All right. Well, a special thanks to Reagan Hooverman, Owen Ely, Chip Elmquist, Max Slocum, Hunter Pinkey, and Kurt Radke. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. This has been HCTV Sports.
See ya.